Money, that's pretty easy, right? We live in America. We're wealthy. So the money's not the problem. But what if somebody asks you to spend a day, right? You got to think that over carefully. And I know you did. I wouldn't waste one of my days, not for anybody, not for anything. Once I understood how valuable they were, I don't waste any. But to make an investment like today of your money and your time, I appreciate that. It's going to be costly for me. It's going to cost me one of my days to be here, right? And some money, of course. But, I don't need the money. I take the money, but I don't need the money. But guess what I do need? The time. So I'm here not to just joke with you. I'm here not to just tell some funny stories and give a performance and walk away. I'm here to give you some value, and I want to make it worth your time. I'm going to invest a day. You're going to invest a day. Let's get the most out of it and see what we can walk away with today. Anyway, for you that have not seen me before, just very briefly, let me just tell you my story. I grew up in Idaho, farm country, southwest corner of Idaho. In fact, my father still lives on the old homestead where I grew up. He'll be 89 his next birthday, still hasn't retired. I'm proud of my dad. He's never been ill. He's really something. I'm trying to get him to retire this year, 88. I'm telling my father, what a good year to retire when you're 88. And he says, hey, talk to me in 10 years, right? I might be ready. But anyway, I went to high school. I graduated. I went to college 1 year. Halfway through my second year of college, I decided I was smart enough, so I quit. One of my major mistakes. I should have gone to school. But I thought, heck, I'm smart enough to get a job. That's what life's all about, right? Get a job, pay your bills, work hard, stay out of trouble, keep your fingers crossed, hope for the best. And I figured I was at least prepared to do that. So I quit college and went to work. A little while later, got married, got my little family going, and I'm out there doing what I thought was the best I could. But about age 25, I'm starting to struggle. I've purchased a little more than I can conveniently pay for on time. And the creditors are starting to call saying, hey, you told us the check was in the mail. What's the deal? And I'm getting embarrassed by that. I'm also embarrassed, big mouth me, with all the fancy promises I made to get married. I'm way behind on those promises. And I'm getting discouraged, wondering what to do. And I thought, well, maybe I should go back to school, right? 1 year of college, pretty short on an application. But, tough to go back to school, right? Especially when you got your family going. Time to stay is when you're there. So I discounted that. I thought, well, if I, had my own business, that would be the way to go. But, I'm short on money, too much month at the end of the money. If you've ever been there, that's where I was, age 25. So I had to discount that, and I'm discouraged, wondering, go from here. And then the miracle happened for me. Good fortune came my way. And who can explain good fortune? I don't know. Remarkable things that happen to you at a particular time. Sometimes it's just unexplainable how those things happen. One of my friends says, well, hey, things don't just happen. Things happen just. Another good note for your notes. Things don't just happen. Things happen just. And maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm an amateur on life, I guess, like most of us are, trying to figure it out, how to make it valuable. But I was ready. And my good fortune was, at age 25, I met a very wealthy man. His name was Mr. Schoaf, Mr. Earl Schoaf. A friend of mine had gone to work for him, and he started telling me about this man. He said, you got to meet this man I've gone to work for. He's wealthy, but he's easy to talk to. Philosophy of life. And the more he kept in, I thought, well, I've got to meet this man. So sure enough, shortly after that, I had a chance to meet this remarkable wealthy man, and I was impressed. He was wealthy. Sure enough, he was easy to talk to. I was so intrigued. Within a few minutes, I said to myself, if I could be like him, farm boy from Idaho, if I could be like him, I'd give anything. And then I thought, if I could just get around somebody like him, and if he would teach me what to do, I would be willing to learn. I'm coachable. And that was my good fortune. A few months later, this wealthy man that I met, Mr. Schoaf, took a liking to me, hired me, gave me a job. I went to work for him. And I spent the next 5 years in his employ. And then, unfortunately, he died at the end of that period at age 49. His last 5 years, but the first 5 years of my new life, I got to spend with this remarkable man, and my dream came true. He coached me, he taught me. He taught me the books to read. He taught me the disciplines. He taught me the changes to make in my language and personality. And the things he shared with me during that 5 years literally changed my life, turned my life around, changed my income, changed my bank account, changed my future, changed everything. I've never been the same since that unique experience. And I wish he was still alive today, Mr. Shoaff. I'm sure if he was alive today, especially after this seminar, Idaho Farm Boy makes it to Dallas, Fort Worth, full house, standing room only. Pretty awesome. I'm sure if he was alive, I'd be calling him today saying, you won't believe what's happening to me. I've had a chance now to share with other people what you shared with me. But anyway, how I got here. 30 plus years ago, I was living in Beverly Hills, California. And one day, a friend of mine, a businessman friend, said, Jim, I'd like to have you come and share your story with my service club that I belong to, the Rotary Club. He said, I know your story. Idaho Farm Boy makes it to Beverly Hills. But he said, I think my club members would love to hear your story. He said, if I arranged one of our breakfast meetings, would you come tell your story? Just share a few thoughts. I said, okay. So I agreed to go give this breakfast talk. And guess what? They liked it. And my telephone rang. I got another call saying, we heard you've given your story and shared some ideas. Talk to our club. First thing I know, I'm starting to devote a piece of my business time to giving these talks. And then one day, a businessman who'd heard my talk, I think 2 or 3 times, approached me and said, would you come and share that story and some thoughts with my management and salespeople? So I got this little company going. And he said, if you'd come tell your story to my organization, he said, I'd be happy to pay you. And I thought, wow, wouldn't that be something? So I agreed to go do it, and I got paid. Little did I know, another fortune was waiting for me to translate my ideas into talks and speeches and seminars. Now I've written some books. It's on cassette tape. Now I get to travel around the world. Last year I was in Japan, Israel, Spain, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, France, Germany, Canada, and now Dallas, Fort Worth. Idaho Farm Boy gets to travel around the world and share his story. And here I am today. Anyway, it's almost too much for me to comprehend. From where I started, raised in obscurity, in a little small farm community, now to be here today is pretty awesome for me. So anyway, that's just a little bit about my story. My story is probably more intriguing for me than it is for you, but I wanted to hear it again, so I thought I would just, bore you with it. Anyway, I don't ask you to be impressed today. I'm the one that's impressed from where I came from to have a chance. But that's the American dream, right? Come true. Chance to start from scratch, start from obscurity, start with pennies, start with nothing, and have a chance to transform your life, change your life, set your goals, and see what you can accomplish. So anyway, that's how I got here. And I'm just delighted that this day has arrived, and I truly want to make it valuable for you. Let's go to work. Here's what I hope you'll find out of this seminar today. For your notes, here's what I hope you'll find. Number 1, sincerity. Above all else today, I hope you'll find me sincere. Best place for people to start to communicate is sincerity on both sides.
All right, familia. What's up, Grand Rising, and happy Thursday. Hope everybody is having a blessed morning. I am your host. My name is Nano, and welcome to Mornings with Nano. I am so grateful for all of you guys for always being on Mornings with Nano and just always being students, man. It's just always a pleasure to have the family be students and just learn all this incredible information that we have here. And being willing to apply it, be willing to be on the calls and learn and elevate and buy the books and support me, all of it. There's just not enough gratitude in my heart that I can express to you guys, because honestly, I'm blessed to have you guys. I know you guys tell me how blessed you guys are for me, but I want you guys to know that I am blessed for all of you. And I thank you. I appreciate you. I love y'all. And I don't know what my life would be without you guys, for real, for real. So thank you guys so much for all y'all love, y'all support. This is amazing. I'm excited for this call. Today is not my last day. Actually, tomorrow is my last day on Mornings with Nano. Actually, not on Mornings with Nano, but my last day doing Mornings with Nano out here in Arizona. After this, I go back to New York for a day, and then I fly to Italy. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna have to get a special guest for Monday morning, Mornings with Nano, because Monday I'll be flying to Italy, and I land in Italy at 2 o'clock. No, I land at 12, which will be 6 p.m. Yeah, so I actually miss Mornings with Nano on Monday, fam, because I'll be flying to Italy. I'm gonna be in Milan. I'm very, very excited about that, and that's gonna be super, super dope. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm very excited. Um, what part of Italy again? I'm gonna be going to Milan, Milan. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna do something special. I want to let you guys know something here on this call. I was gonna do it today, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it tomorrow. Tomorrow on Mornings with Nano, I'm gonna do the first ever Mornings with Nano quiz. The first ever Mornings with Nano quiz, and it's gonna be kind of like a test. And the way that we're gonna do it is, it's gonna start off as a quiz, and I'm gonna ask you guys questions, and you gotta know the answers to them. So it'll be a question as an example. You know, I'll be like, name three of the laws of the universe. Out of the seven laws of the universe, name three, right? And you have to name them. I'll ask you a question like, what determines your teachability index? And you have to tell me what determines your teachability index. Then your teachability index is determined by so on and so forth. And what we'll do is, okay, I'll ask about a certain amount of questions. If you answer it, great. If you don't, you obviously don't know it. And then what we'll do is at the end, out of, 10 or 15 questions that I ask, we'll be like, all right, how many did you get right? How many did you didn't know? So on and so forth. And then we'll kind of do a test, and that'll kind of test you on what it is that you know and you don't know. So I recommend you guys, I'm giving you guys a heads up, study your notes. I'm gonna see who actually knows the information tomorrow and who doesn't know the information tomorrow. And it's not just about knowing. Remember, it's about what you do as well. So tomorrow on Mornings with Nano, I'm gonna be doing a little quiz for you guys, so you guys can just kind of test where you're at with everything. And I think that that'll be very, very powerful, fam. So I'm excited for that. Do me a favor, before we get this call started, express one thing in the chat box that you are grateful for. What is one thing that you are grateful for this beautiful Thursday morning? I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dadiana. I'm extremely grateful for my team and the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for the moments and the moments shared here in Arizona already. They have been incredible. Um, Grateful for the momentum that we're experiencing. Grateful for the breakthroughs. Grateful for um, my girlfriend Katie. Grateful for um, life itself, food, roof over my head. Extremely, extremely, extremely grateful for it all, and I'm excited for what it is that we have to come here, because I know a lot of people what this is about. So let's get this call started here. So today we're going to be talking about playing your role. Okay, that is going to be today's topic, is play your role. Okay, play your role. And I wanted to talk about this because I think it's important that we understand the importance of our role. And I feel like a lot of us need to hear this message to help us understand what role we're going to play this fourth quarter. Okay, what's going to be your role this fourth quarter? Now, we got to remember this, okay? You cannot play a role that you are not yet deserving of. Let's make sure we understand that. You cannot play a role that you are not yet deserving of. Okay? A lot of people tend to want to do that. They want to play roles that they are not yet ready or even deserving of. Okay? You got to play the role that you are deserving of. Okay? You got to play the role that you were put in, because at the end of the day, you got to learn how to be a soldier before you become a general. You got to learn how to become a follower before you become a leader. You got to learn how to become an Indian before you become the chief. Okay? So it's very, very important that you guys understand that each and every single one of you guys needs to understand your role. Your role is very, very, very important. Okay? Everyone plays the role that they're deserved, not the one that they are given. Okay? Because remember this, if you're given a role that you don't deserve, you'll probably lose it. Okay? Write that down. If you are given a role that you don't yet deserve, you'll probably lose it because you are not ready to step into that role yet. And this fourth quarter, you got to understand what your role is. Is this fourth quarter a quarter where you have to be more of a follower, where you have to be more of that mentee and study and learn and be the individual that is leading by example for, the people around you? You got to know what your role is going to be this fourth quarter. Are you going to be the one leading the charge this fourth quarter? Are you going to be the one that's going to be following the play this fourth quarter? Are you going to be the one who's going to be promoting calls, running the events, trading with the team, making sure that you train the team? What is within your business? What's going to be the role in your friend relationship, right? You got to understand what the role is, because this is super key that you understand. Now, remember this, roles are played in different seasons. We're going into the last quarter of the season. The last quarter of the season is crunch time. Crunch time requires for massive action. It requires for leaders to step up, because at this point right here, this is where all the top individuals got to step up. Okay. But what we got to get is this: is your role this season, is it going to be the role of a mentor, or is it going to be the role of a mentee? Are you going to be a mentor, or are you going to be a mentee? You see, I do my best to do both. You see, I'm never ever ever, okay, just focused on one of the roles. I want to do both of the roles. And I think that is important that you guys understand. You just got to know when to play your role. So let me give you guys an example. Okay. When I am with my team, okay, when I am with my leaders, as you guys can see right now here in Arizona, I'm in Arizona right now. We rented out this beautiful mansion in the desert. We're over here working. And my role here at this house is to be a mentor, is to be an example. Okay. It's my role to be an example. It's my role to be a mentor, answer questions, help people with getting calls done, help them set up three ways, teach them the different skills, right? All of these different things. That is what's required of me as a mentor at this house. But when I go to Miami in a few weeks and I'm with Matt, you see how the roles switch now? I become the mentee. You see, I understand that when it's my turn to be a mentor, I'm a mentor. When it's my turn to be a mentee, I'm a mentee. I understand when it's my turn to lead, and I understand when it's my turn to follow. You can't mix those two. And you got to understand that as a living, as a student of the game, you got to understand that you got to know when is your turn to lead and when is your turn to follow. I understand that when I'm with Matt and he's my mentor, it is my turn to follow. I follow Matt. Okay, when 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 I'm with my team and I'm working and I'm developing, guess what? I'm the mentor. So I never ever ever mix the two. You got to know which one you are. You got to know when is your turn. Okay. Now, this is what tends to happen to some people, and I want you guys to understand. And this is why some people have never been able to make it very far, is that some people just don't know when to play their role. They want to be chiefs when they still need to be soldiers. They want to be mentors, but they haven't learned how to be mentees. They want to lead, but they haven't learned how to follow. And usually that happens because of ego, because they feel like they're better than that person. They feel like they're more talented than that person. They feel like they know more than that person. And something that happens in the game of business and of life is that people tend to envy the person that is leading the way. They tend to envy the person that is being the mentor, not truly understanding that you have to learn from that individual. You have to be a follower in that position. Learn how to be the proper follower. See what you can get from that individual. Because remember, tables turn. Never hate on anybody. I never hated on anybody. I never envied anybody. I always celebrated everybody. Why? Because I knew my turn would come where it was going to be my turn to be a mentor. But right now, my role was to be a mentee. That was my role. Nano, you got to be the best mentee and the best follower that you can be. That was my focus. How can I become the best mentee that I can be? How can I become the best follower that I can be? I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to pay a lot of homage. I'm going to make sure that the individual knows who I am. Whatever's required of me, I'm going to under promise and over deliver. I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to appreciate. I'm going to do what's required of me as a mentee to be the best mentee I can be for my mentor. I'm going to activate my mentor. I'm going to be humble. I'm going to pay homage. Okay. I'm going to pay attention to the little things. All of those things make such a big difference, guys. They're so important for you to understand, because if you don't become the best mentor you can be, when it's your turn to be a mentor, you don't even know what a good follower is. You'll never know what a good follower is because you never were a good follower. So you got to learn how to play your role. You got to learn how to be that best follower, that best mentee. Trust me, I've learned how to do it. I've learned how to be the best mentee to my mentor. How can I be the best mentee to Matt? That's my mentor. What can I do? How can I be the best? What does a great mentee looks like? Well, a great mentee asks a lot of questions. A great mentee understands that a mentor's greatest achievement is my accomplishments, my growth. So I know that the way I'm going to make my mentor happy, the way I'm going to make my mentor proud is through my growth. My mentor seeing me grow, stepping out of my comfort zone, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's going to make my mentor happy, right? Being low maintenance and high reward is something that makes all mentors happy, right? Being somebody that is low maintenance and high reward, I don't think you guys understand how happy that makes a mentor, right? Being somebody that you don't need to be constantly reminded or constantly motivated, and you're not an individual that is always that we have to pick up the phone and it's like, yo, Nano, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You're just somebody that you're taking action. You're taking massive action regardless of the circumstances, regardless of all of the things that are happening in your life. You take action. That's a great mentee. A mentee is somebody that makes the mentor's life a lot easier, not makes it harder. You see how that works? A mentee is somebody that makes the mentor's life easier, not harder. You got to work to be that best mentee you can be so that you can know what the example of a good mentee is, so that then you can become that and then you can teach others how to do the same. When my mentor gives me a play, I don't come back until that play is ran. I ask him, hey, what do I need to do? Okay, I need to read this book. I need to go on tour here. I'll check in with you 30 days from now. Left my tour, I had a conversation with Matt. That was September 15, around there. I had a conversation with Matt about what the game plan was for the next 3 on tour. Guess what? He told me what to do. I am not gonna come, and me and him probably won't even talk about business anymore till I run that play. There's no reason for me and him probably won't even talk about business anymore till I run that play. There's no reason for me to talk to Matt about business and to run that play. He told me, go to this city, do this here, say this, do this, study that. Boom. And it's done. Damn, it's saying it's lagging. Is it lagging on the YouTube? Can everybody see me? Because it says
on the TV. You can see it's going. Good.
all right. Well, let me know if it comes back. It says it's good. I can see it on the TV over there that we're good. So I apologize about that. But just understand that, playing your role is so important, right? You got to know that playing your role is so important. Okay. There's going to be times when you have to be that best mentee. And for right now, for the most part, guys, I'll be honest with all of you. A lot of you guys are not yet ready to be mentors. Some of you guys are not yet ready to be mentors. And I know that certain people in your life look at y'all as mentors, but guess what, guys? Maybe it may not be your time just yet. You haven't learned how to be that mentee yet. You haven't learned how to be a mentee that is the best follower. You haven't learned how to be a mentee that activates the mentor. Okay. You haven't learned how to be a mentee that gives thanks for all the things that your mentor does for you. You guys got to remember, guys, the mentor does a lot of things behind closed doors that you guys will never know. Always remember that. Your mentor does a lot of things that you guys will never, ever, ever know about. They'll make sacrifices that you'll never know about. My team doesn't even know some of the sacrifices that I've made for us to be where we're at today. They don't even know, because those were sacrifices that I had to make in silence in order for us to shine when the light hit us, so that we can be prepared when things happen. Because the problem is, people can talk down on mentors. People can talk down on leaders. But let me tell you guys something, and let me teach you guys something real quick. I want you guys to write this down. The highest form of ignorance is talking down on something that you know nothing about. I'm going to repeat that one more time. The highest form of ignorance is talking down on something that you know nothing about. Okay? That's the highest form of ignorance. You're talking down on something that you know nothing about. You don't know what it's like to be a mentor. You don't know what it's like to lead hundreds of people. You don't know what it's like to wake up on a day-to-day basis and jump on a call with hundreds of people. You don't know about that. So why would you talk down on somebody else's position? Why would you talk down on their leadership abilities? Why would you talk down on the things that they're doing when in reality you put in the same position will probably do a worse job than the person that's actually in that position. Don't ever hate on somebody else's position. Don't ever hate on the fact that somebody else is in a role that you're doing, because you look like now one of the haters that are on the outside. It keeps saying different. Everybody's lagging over here for me. Let me move to the table right here, maybe.
I think their connection's bad.
I mean, it says it's good.
We're good over here. It must be their connection.
Let me see. Yeah, tell them. All right, fam. Let me see. I moved closer to see. It should be solid though, because it's blurry, but the sound is loud and clear. YouTube was lagging like crazy. Dude, YouTube just be bugging all the time. Shaking my head. So let's continue, and hopefully it's good now on your guys' side. If anything, come to IG. We only got a few more minutes, but to talk to you guys about what I was saying, right? The highest form of ignorance is talking down on something you know nothing about. Remember, that's something that our families knows of. This is something that our family does. It's something that our friends do, right? Put a 1 in the chat box if you've ever had somebody in your family, your friends, in your Instagram talk down on what you do without knowing anything about it, right? Have you ever had anybody do that, right? Somebody in your friends, your family, your co-workers, they ever talk down on what you do, but they know nothing about it, okay? That is the highest form of ignorance right there, right? The highest form of ignorance is somebody talking down on something that they know nothing about. How can some people talk down on our business, but they know nothing about our business? How can they say that our business doesn't work and they've never tried it? How can they say that people don't make money in our business when there's people making millions? How can they say it's a scam, but we've been around for 10 plus years? How can they say it's a scam, but their favorite athletes and their favorite celebrities do what we do? You ever think about that? Do you guys understand that every one of our celebrity, friends, and they do exactly what we do? They do network marketing. They do influencer marketing, right? Do you know that all Fashion Nova is network marketing and influencer marketing? I don't know if you guys know that. That's e-commerce. That's what we do. Think about it. Think about what Fashion Nova does. Fashion Nova is a clothing e-commerce store, online e-commerce store, which is, I literally just finished launching my store, right? I just launched my store, right? I can show you guys. I will show you guys. I'll actually show you guys tomorrow what my store looks like. But right, Fashion Nova. Think about what Fashion Nova does, right? Fashion Nova, their product is clothes, right? What is network marketing, or what is influencer marketing? Influencer marketing is finding a product and sharing it with a network of people. That's all it is. Getting a product and sharing it with a network of people. Okay. So that's what we do. Okay. We share a product with a network of people. Fashion Nova, they have what? Influencers, they have celebrities, they have IG models that share their product, their clothes, with a network of people. So how is it that so many people have things to say about what we do, but there's their favorite celebrities doing it? Oh, Nano, I don't want to recruit. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But you have your favorite celebrities doing the exact same things. Guess you see Drake with the thing that he's doing with Stake, that like gambling thing that he does, where he's showing people. What you think that he's just doing that for fun? No, he gets people to refer to Stake. Stake is paying him for that. You guys see him playing these online gambling games? That's influencer marketing. He's taking a product and he's sharing it with a network of people. That's what he's doing. He gets paid millions for that. Obviously, he's on a different level, but all of our all of the people that we know do it all the time. It's everywhere, especially nowadays. It's everywhere. People are partnered up and they're getting deals for sharing with people products, right? Why? Think about it. Why do you think that they put our favorite celebrities on commercials with our favorite, brands? Coke, Coca-Cola, State Farm, the cars, right? You see, we have Chris Paul at State Farm, right? We have all of these different celebrities pushing cars, pushing sodas, pushing this, pushing that. Snoop Dogg with the Corona commercial, Nike, all of these things. What are they doing? They are pushing a product to a network of people. But then people have the audacity to tell me that what I do doesn't work and that what I do is a scam and that what I do is not a career. How does that make sense? Think about it. How does that make sense? And then the thing is this: some of you allow people to say those things to you, and they get you down on your own self, on your own dreams, because you choose to accept what they say. How can anybody tell you that what you do is a scam? How can anybody tell you that what you do doesn't work? The only reason it doesn't work is because you chose for it not to work. For it not to work. Remember, the highest is when people talk down on something that they know absolutely nothing about. It blows my mind when I see people talk down on what I do. For example, for those who don't know what I do, okay, I am a digital entrepreneur. All right, Nano, what is a digital entrepreneur? Where a digital entrepreneur is a business owner, okay, that makes money in multiple different ways through their homes and their phones. Okay, so I make money through trading. I invest into crypto and NFTs. I have an e-commerce platform. I build different things that I travel and I make money. That's why I'm able to be in New York for a month. I'm able to come to Arizona for 2 weeks. I'm able to go to Italy for a week. I'm able to go to Switzerland for a week. I'm able to go to Dubai. I'm able to go to all of these different places, but I'm still making money. You know why? Because I make all of my money from my phone and my home and my laptop. I'm a digital entrepreneur. I'm a digital entrepreneur. Nobody tells me what to do. I make my own money. I make my own money. I'm my own boss. I make my own rules. I'm in control of my own retirement. So we got to understand that this is something that we all got to learn how to do. Okay? If it's lagging a little bit, guys, it'll come back. Just listen to the message. One thing that I've always learned is this, guys, and when you understand this, it'll change your life. Never, ever, ever allow the opinions of others to determine your reality. Never, ever, ever allow the opinions of others to determine your reality. Okay? And when you truly understand that, your whole life will change. Because a lot of people don't play their roles because they don't understand how it works. You got to learn how to play your role. You got to learn how to embrace it. And some of us are being very, very ignorant about certain things because we don't know what we're truly talking about. We don't know that this business can change our lives if we are willing to just change the perspective that we have of the business. You can change your life based off of the image and the perception that you have of this business. You got to learn how to do that. It's all about perspective. Your whole life can truly change if you take advantage of it. Truly. It can really, really change if you learn how to change the perception that you have of the business. Trust me, because it changed it for me. I was there for a year. If it took me 6 months, I was there for 6 months. And then when it was my turn to lead, I made sure that I lived up to the expectation. Some of you guys are not living up to the expectation when you're given the opportunity to lead. And you know why that happens is because you weren't the best follower when you were supposed to be a follower. And now that you have to be a leader, you don't even know what it's like to lead because you wasn't being a good follower. Do you guys understand how powerful that is? I have people around me that are phenomenal followers that I know that when it comes their time to lead, they're going to kill it. There's others that when they get a chance to lead, they're going to suck. Why? Because they weren't impeccable with their word. They're not disciplined. No discipline. They're not consistent. And guess what? If you're not a consistent mentee, if you're not impeccable with your word as a mentee, guess what? When it comes to be a mentor or a leader, now you're going to get exposed. You're going to get exposed because guess what? Your discipline is not going to be there, which means you don't keep your word on on the things that you say you're going to do. All right? So you're going to lose right there. You're not consistent. So people are not going to follow you, and you're going to get exposed, and everybody's going to realize like, yo, this is not somebody I want to follow. And you're going to lose your leadership ability because guess what? You weren't a good follower. And I tell you guys that because I've been exposed like that. I've been exposed. I've been put in a position of leadership before I deserved it, and I wasn't consistent. I wasn't disciplined. I wasn't impeccable with my word. I didn't have the right mindset at the time. And the people that were following me was like, as crazy as this may sound, but people were like, I don't want to follow Nano. I don't. Nano doesn't keep his word. I've had people complain that to certain people when I was on the come up. When I was on my come up and I was first getting into my leadership abilities, okay, people would say like, damn, Nano told me he was going to do this and he didn't do it. Nano shows up one day and then the next day he doesn't show up. But I was in a position of leadership. And when you get put in a position of leadership, guess what happens? It's your turn to lead now. And as an example, you have everything that's required. You're making money out of pushing people a dream that they may never reach, but I'm sure that's out. And remember, that's all a personal choice, right? That's all a choice at the end of the day. At least I'm pushing a dream and not a nightmare. At least I'm giving people hope and not tearing people down. At least I'm encouraging people to go get their dreams instead of staying the same. It's all a choice. Everybody has the choice to become the best version of themselves. So at the end of the day, it's up to the person. At least there's somebody that's out there pushing somebody a dream. At least we're not on the news pushing fear. You see the difference? It's all perspective. It's all perspective. I love that you said that, though. I love that she said that. Look at what she said. She said, at the end of the day, you're making money out of pushing people a dream that may never reach, and I'm sure that's why people that may never reach, and I'm sure that's why people have doubts. Well, at the end of the day, it's all a choice. Remember, think about it. I'm grateful that I get to push it. It's true. Some may never reach it, but it's all because of what? Personal preference, personal choice. I got people around me that thankfully I push the dream to them and they're living the dream. There's others that I push the dream to them and they haven't been able to see it all the way through. And for me, it's not about the money. The money is only a reflection of the amount of people I've impacted. I don't want money for I don't want to earn anything from the people that I pushed the dream to and they didn't achieve anything. If I'm going to be compensated, I want to be compensated because I showed the business to G Hundo, I showed the business to KD, to Holly, to all the leaders, and they blew up and now they're living the life of their dreams. I want to be compensated because I helped somebody else change their life. I don't want to be compensated for the people that came into this and didn't see the vision. I want to be compensated for the people that I helped change their lives because that's your payment for the investment that you made into them, right? Everything deserves a return on investment. I invest time into G, I invest time into KD. It's not that they have to compensate me personally, but you know how they compensate me? With their growth. They compensate me with their impact. They compensate me with the men, the fathers, the sons that they become. I don't need money. So a lot of people got that all wrong. And I'm glad that you said that because people need that perspective. There's nothing wrong with you pushing something that you believe in. Because at the end of the day, it's a choice for others to do it whether they want to or not. Think about it. On this call, you guys jump on mornings with Nano. If you really think about it, we pushing a dream on this call. It's a dream until it becomes a reality. On this call, I'm pushing a dream. The good thing is that here, you don't got to pay for it. At least until now, you don't got to pay for it. And it's up to you to choose to learn this information. And okay, Nano, I'm going to buy the books. I'm going to listen to the audios. I'm going to jump on the calls every day. I'm going to be the best mentee I can be. And then eventually, if by choice and if you do it consistently, the dream that I push to you will become a reality. And if you don't choose to do it, then you'll live your life as you choose to live it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not meant for everybody. Remember, and this is very important. The message is not meant to be heard by all. It's meant to be heard by some. The message is not meant to be heard by all. The message is meant to be heard by some. I know that not everybody on this call is going to hear the message. You don't think I understand that? There's hundreds and thousands of people that jump on Mornings with Nano. Thousands of people. Do you think that all 1,000 are going to see the dream? Probably not. But something my mentor told me, he said this. He said, Nano, if one person shows up, you pour into that one person because that one person could be the next Mother Teresa. That next person could be the next Martin Luther King. So just because it's one doesn't mean that that one can't turn that one person into thousands and millions of people. So if one person shows up, you do the work. Because all it takes is one person to see the dream. All it takes is one person to save an impact. Nobody here, you should never want to get paid for the people that didn't do anything. If you want to be compensated, you want to be compensated for the lives that you changed. Of course, you got to get compensated. You help somebody change their life, I would be compensated. I don't understand where the misconception and the misunderstanding comes from, that if you invest hundreds of hours into somebody, developing them, that you don't deserve compensation. I don't understand where that comes from. I don't understand what people think that what we supposed to do. So you impact millions of lives and you expect not to get nothing from it, no compensation. No, that's not how it works. You give, you receive. Those are the laws. People are just lost. People just don't understand. Listen to this. A constant need for credit will constantly leave you in debt. Write that one down right there. A constant need for credit will constantly leave you in debt. Everybody wants the credit, the credit, the credit, the credit, the credit, the credit. Well, that constant need for credit will leave you in debt. And it's the truth. Everybody wants credit. Everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody thinks that, no, bro, that stuff will leave you in debt. Trust me. Trust me, it'll leave you in debt. I thought I always needed the credit. I was like, man, I need the credit. I started to grow a ego. I was like, I need more credit for what I'm doing. And then Matt, your mentors say the right words at the right time. He said, a constant need for credit will constantly leave you in debt. And I said, bet. That makes sense. That's the reason why I feel so empty sometimes. Because I always want credit for what I do. Not understanding that 90% of what a leader does goes unnoticed, and the 10% that we do get recognized for, we give it away. So we got to think about this. 90% of what we do is going to go unnoticed. So what do we need credit for? What do we want so much credit for? If 90% of what we do is going to go unnoticed. Think about that. 90% of what we do is going to go unnoticed anyways. And then when we do get credit, we give it away. For example, Matt calls me the other day. He's giving me all this love and all this recognition and all this credit. Bro, I'm so proud of you, so on and so forth. And he's giving me all this credit. And then the moment he gives it to me, I start giving it back to my team and giving it back to him. Yo, bro, I couldn't have done it without my team. I couldn't have done it without your mentorship, so on and so forth. And you know what he told me, bro? Accept it. Oh, it was you. You did that. Yeah, I helped you. Yeah, I gave you guidance. Yeah, your team, but you were the one that stayed consistent. You were the one that did this, and that. He said, except that you were the one that he started giving me credit. My mind was like my team. It was the fact that to where I'm at right now went unnoticed. And then the 10% that I did get recognized for, I gave it to my team and I gave it to him. I didn't even accept any of it. So what's the constant need for credit for? I appreciate it now. I understand when to take in credit and when to give it away. But you got to know this stuff. And you got to know how to play your role. Right? Right now, in this house, I'm a mentor. But when I go to Matt's house, I'm a mentee. I know how to play my role. I never want to be a mentor in an environment where it's Matt's time. Because I never outshine the master. Never outshine the master. Never. That's something I've learned. I'll never try to outshine Matt. I'll never try to outshine Alex, Darwin. Never. I play my role. They make more money than me. They've been in the game longer than me. I'm little bro. They big bros. I don't disrespect. I don't try to put myself in a position where I don't deserve to be at. Yet when it's my time, it'll be my time. When it's my time to be big bro, I'll be big bro. But for now, I'm going to be the best little bro I can be. I'm going to be the best mentee I can be. I'm going to be the best follower I can be. Too many people want to be put in positions that they're not yet ready for. And when you get put in these positions, then you don't live up to expectations and then you fall. This happens a lot in this business. For example, people like, yo, I deserve my own chat with my own team, this and this and this and that. Now you have your chat with your own team. And guess what? Now you don't even know how to handle your team. You're not even consistent in your team chats. You don't even participate in there. You don't even run calls. You don't develop anybody. You don't got no systems in place. Now your team falls apart, and now you're blaming your mentor because he didn't help you, because he didn't guide you. You know how many times I've seen that happen in this business? Some people tend to get a little bit of success, and right away they think that they're ready to lead a team. It's not how it works, fam. Just because you get a little bit of success doesn't mean that you're ready to run a team. You're not ready for that yet. Stay humble. How are you going to put yourself in a position of leadership if you're not ready to be in a position of leadership? Remember, you can't lead others until you learn how to lead yourself. How are you going to lead others if you can't even stay consistent with a morning routine for 5 days? Think about that. How are you going to lead others and you can't even keep your word on the things that you're going to say and do? How are you going to lead others and you lack consistency? You don't read. You don't show up to events. You don't participate in the chats. You don't promote. You don't do what's required. When it gets hard, you stop. As a leader, think about this, guys. As a leader, you got to show up on the days that is hard. Let me give you guys a little reality check. When it gets hard and you stop, you're not yet ready to be a leader. If when it gets hard, you stop doing what's required of you as a leader, you're not ready to be a leader. Because a leader has to keep going even when it's hard. Why you think I show up every day on mornings even when it's hard, even when I don't want to, even when things are going against me, even when my business falls apart, even when whatever's happening is happening? Why do you think I still show up? It's because I've been put in a position of leadership. And as a leader, no longer is it about me, it's about others. I don't know. What if this morning I would have been like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to jump on mornings when Eno. Some of you guys wouldn't have gotten the message this morning. Imagine if every time I went through something, I didn't show up on mornings with Nano. Nano wouldn't be as credible as it is. You know why mornings with Nano is so credible? Because you know that every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. at 10 a.m. Eastern time, you can turn on YouTube and you can find Nano right there. You could not jump on mornings with Nano for weeks. And you can come back and you know that, yo, if I want to get back in the groove and I want to listen to a message, all I got to do is jump on Mornings with Nano at 10 a.m. I know he's going to be there. You know what that's called? That's called being reliable. You guys know that whether you're on vacation, whether you have something in your life going on, whether you have to go away for a month, you know that you can come back a month from now and Nano's going to be there. You know that you can put your team on a call and your team is going to get value from what it is that I do on a day-to-day basis. Look, Shank said, I haven't been on for months and you're still giving value every day. He said he hasn't been on for months. And look, he showed up today. I'm still giving value. You know what that's called? That's called being a reliable leader. Some people can count on me. You guys can count on me. Very rarely is a mornings when Nano call canceled. Very, very rarely. Maybe travel. Like Monday, I'm going to be flying to Italy. I'm traveling. There'll be no mornings with Nano unless I find somebody to replace me really fast. You know why? Because I have been put in a position of leadership. God put me here. And as a leader, I got to lead by example. What do I look like not showing up when it gets hard? What do I look like? That, think about it. That goes against everything that I speak. I'm over here talking to you guys like, yo, when it gets hard, you got to keep going. When it gets hard, you got to push through. And then it gets hard for me and I don't push through. How would I look like as a leader? Think about that. How would I look like as a leader if I'm telling you guys, yo, when it gets hard, push through, Keep your positive mindset. Show up regardless. But then when it gets hard, I stop showing up. No. When it gets hard, I got to show up. You know why? Because I got to be an example and I got to be impeccable with my word. I was being hard on y'all because y'all wasn't showing up when it was hard. So when it gets hard for me, I got to show up no matter what. I got to show up. 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 I got to show up no matter what. How am I going to tell you guys, yo, do a morning routine and I'm not doing a morning routine? How am I going to tell you guys, yo, let's go 90 days straight on your morning routine and then I'm not doing it? I'm at 59, 60 days. We've been doing the morning routine every morning here with the squad. I told you guys, I took that one day, which was on Monday, that didn't count for me. But I didn't go back-to-back days, so we still in it. So I'm supposed to be at 60, but right now I'm at 59, if I'm not mistaken. Tomorrow will be day number 60 for me. And I feel better than I've ever been. I'm en route to that 90 days. I told you guys, I'm not stopping. I'm going 90 days straight. About this the other day at the end of August, when it started at the end of August, tomorrow will be 60 days. Look at how time flies. It feels like just the other day I was on Mornings when I'm telling you guys, yo, fam, after this call, I'll never be the same, so on and so forth. Look, we 60 days in already. Working hard every single day, consistent every single day. Were there days that were harder than others? Absolutely. Were there days that I didn't want to do it? Absolutely. But guess what? We showed up every time. You know why? Because I understand my role in this season. I understand my role in this season. You got to know this, fam. Gotta know your role. What is your role on your team? If right now your role on your team is just to help people, welcome people into the chats, that's your role. If your role is to be the team mom, be the team mom. Right? If your role is to be the accountability partner, be the accountability partner. If your role is to promote to the cause, promote to the cause. I'll tell you guys this story and I'll end it off right here. Right? My third year in college was my hardest year ever, right? As a baseball player. My first 2 years of college, I had record-breaking numbers and I got accepted into a Division I school in St. John's, right? I sucked my first year at St. John's. And I went from being one of the highest anticipated starting pitchers from my team to being the guy that was playing the bench. And I went from being like the number 3 or 4 pitcher to being basically the last resort pitcher, the number 12 pitcher on the roster. So I was barely pitching. And at one point I realized that I was like, bro, I got to be a team player and I just got to embrace my role. My role is to be bench captain. I was the captain of the bench. I had to humble myself. I'm like, yo, this year is not my year. This year is not going to be a year that I play. So I got to be the captain of the bench. I got to be the one that's in charge of making sure that the bench is always hype, excited, that I'm communicating with all the infielders, the outfielders, that I'm making sure that the pitchers are locked in and I'm holding people accountable when they come into the bench, making sure that when my shortstop comes in, I'm giving him water. When my pitcher comes in, I'm getting him his towel. I went from being the number 1 pitcher the year before to being the best bench player. And you know what's funny? We won a championship that year. And I played no part in the production of it on the field, but I played a part in it in the bench. And you know what? I was okay with that because I understood my role. Other people would have grown too much ego with that. They're like, nah, hell no, bro. You crazy? I'm big dog. But guess what? When it was time to be big dog in that year, I didn't show up. I folded under the pressure certain times. So guess what I had to do? I had to be the best bench player I could be. And that's what I did. Yo, I was the best. When I tell you I was the best bench captain that you could ever, it was literally said, like, yo, we couldn't have won this without Torres. We couldn't have won it without the energy. Like, I was the one bringing people up in the huddle. Like, yo, come in, yo, huddle up in the bench. I'm the bench player, and I was leading. Yo, huddle up. Yo, fam, this is our chance right here. We gotta get them right here. We gotta close out the game. Let's finish strong, stay locked in, zero errors. Let's wait for that first strike and let's attack early. Boom, 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 boom. And I was the bench player. Think about that. I was the one giving my pitcher when he came in his towel. I was the one giving my shortstop and my hitters cups of water, like, here, bro, stay hydrated, my boy, here, stay hydrated. But the year before that, I was the number one pitcher. I was the one that people brought me the towels and the juices and the Gatorades. And now the role has switched. And now I was the one, but I stayed humble still, because you know what that reminded me? That at any point, roles can switch. I was on top of the world at one point, and then the other day I don't consider it the bottom, but at the other time I was in a different role, and I had to embrace that role. Anything for the team to win, even if that meant that I wasn't the number one. I wasn't the number one. And that's okay. At that point, I was number two, or I was bench captain, and I embraced it. And that was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. Guess what? Next year, I was the number one pitcher. But you know why? Because I was ready to now be in that position. Next year, I was number one pitcher in that school. You know why? But I played my role the best of my ability the year before that. And that's something that I want you guys to understand. Learn how to play your role. Learn how to be a follower. Learn how to be a mentee. Learn how to be that chief. Learn how to be number two. Right? Learn how to be number two. Fat Joe said it. I saw it on the video the other day. Yo, most people don't know how to be number two. He said with his group, he's number one. But when he goes around DJ Khaled, he's number two. He's holding the door for DJ Khaled. That's big. That's his little brother, but in that perspective, he's big bro. He opens the door for him. He's number two. That's a fact. That's how it is. Sometimes that's how you got to understand your role. You got to understand your role. It's not that the person is better than you. It's not that the person can do more than you. It's just that you got to be in a position of student mode and leadership and understanding where you are and being that best student that you can be. The best students become the best teachers. The best followers become the best leaders. The best soldiers become the best chiefs. I know my role in every position of my life, and that's the key. All right, fam. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. Put a 333 in the chat box if you guys got value from today's call. 333. That's how it is, fam. Learn how to play your role. So ask yourself, yo, what is my role for the rest of the year? And it doesn't matter how long you got to play your role for. You play it until you play it. That's it. You play it until you have to play it. Eventually, your time will come. I played my role until I had to play my role. And then when it was my turn to be the leader, when it was my turn to be the general, then I became the general. You know why? Because I prepared myself all those times when I was a student. See how that works? All those days, all those weeks, all those days in student mode were all preparation for the times that I became that leader. And that's what you guys need to understand. All right, fam. So that wraps up today's call. I went a little longer than I was supposed to, but I wanted to make sure that you guys heard the message. If you guys got value from this, you guys already typed the threes. Please like this video if you haven't liked this video. Sorry about the connection issues. I know it's been a little crazy with being out here in AZ. But I appreciate you guys a lot. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Turn on the post notifications. Leave a comment. Leave a review. Let everybody know how dope this call was. Some people need to hear this message. Some people with big egos need to hear this message. But I'll do a quick prayer, and then we'll get up out of here, fam. Quick prayer. Everybody bow your heads. Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for this beautiful Thursday morning filled with your grace and your abundance. You taught us a very powerful lesson today about understanding our roles in life. And understanding that at the end of the day, you are our leader. And we got to be the best follower that we can be to you, because you'll always be our leader. And at the end of the day, that's what we all need to learn and embrace. And these lessons that you teach us is because you want us to understand the importance of leadership. You want us to understand the importance of servanthood. And now that we're understanding this on a deeper level, we understand what our roles are for the rest of the year and going into 2023. So thank you so much for the lessons that you teach us daily. Thank you so much for guiding us and showing us the way and providing us with all the energy and all the determination that we need to keep pushing forward. And for anybody out there that needs an ego check, God, give it to them. We need it. We always need those ego checks, because we understand that when we have ego, we are edging God out, and we never want to edge you out of anything that we're doing, Father. So thank you so much for being there for us, for guiding us, for holding us accountable, for loving us unconditionally. There's never been a better leader than you, but guess what? We're going to be the best followers that we can be on a day-to-day basis, so we can continue to serve our purpose and live in that grace each and every single day. So we love you so much, and we appreciate you so much. Let's have an intentional and productive day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. All right, fam. So with that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow for another episode of Mornings with Nano. Get ready. We have a quiz tomorrow, fam. All right. So let's rock it out. And I appreciate y'all.
Let's go.
Let's go.